Welcome to Journaling with Nature, the podcast for those who want to turn curiosity into wonder, a pencil sketch into a rabbit hole of discovery, a moment of stillness into a life full of joy. I'm your host, Bethan Burton. Let's open the pages of our nature journals and explore this world together. Hello, this is episode 184. I hope you're doing well. We are starting to see and feel the seasons really shifting now. Just today, I cracked open my bag of cold weather clothes that have been packed away for the last 6 months. Our days are still really warm outdoors, but mornings and evenings are cooling down a lot. I wonder what changes you're noticing around you as the seasons shift. Before we jump into today's prompt, I want to welcome those folks who have just joined the lovely group of podcast supporters over on Patreon. Welcome to you, and thank you so much for being part of it. For those who haven't heard about Patreon, and I'm actually quite bad at mentioning it here, and I need to get better at that, but Patreon is a platform that allows folks who want to support a creative, and in this case, you're supporting the Journaling with Nature podcast. And when you go to that platform, you can pledge a small donation, and it can be as little as $1 a month. And your pledges will help keep the podcast running. I can honestly say that without the Patreon support, I wouldn't be able to keep up with this project. And now we're in our 5th year of this podcast, and I'm so grateful to all of the podcast supporters who've made it possible. If you'd like to support the show, there's a link to the Patreon page in the show notes for this episode. If you'd like to support the show in a different way, you can leave a 5-star review on whatever platform you use to access podcasts. And this helps boost the show and have it recommended to more people. Thank you again for all your support. It really means the world. So last week we heard an interview with Lee Putman. Lee's platform is called Facts and Fineliners, and you can go back and listen to that episode if you haven't already. And he explores facts and stories about animals while he's sketching them. I thought it could be fun to have a prompt where we find out some facts about an animal that we see in our nearby nature, or just one that we've been curious to learn more about. Lee talked about the fact that when we know more about an animal, it helps us to see beauty in animals that might not have the best reputation, like pigeons, for example. And also how his work is a form of animal activism in itself, because he's growing our awareness of the complex stories in the animal kingdom and helping people to want to protect animals and their habitats. It's interesting timing, actually, because my son's class has been researching animals and writing down animal facts. And last week they had a display for the parents to attend where they had all created dioramas of their chosen animals and had facts about them displayed for us to walk around the classroom and look and learn. I learned a lot of facts. Did you know that capybaras can sleep underwater? It was so much fun to see all the different dioramas and the animal facts and which child was drawn to which animal, like some like the dangerous animals and some like the cute and cuddly ones. And then interesting to see how they creatively displayed their chosen animal within the diorama. So some of them had the animals hanging from a string and they could move from side to side within their habitat. It was so lovely. So for us, for today's prompt, let's go on a fact-finding adventure of our own. Is there an animal that you're interested in that you'd like to know more about? Or an animal that's been visiting your neighborhood that you'd like to get to know? My family got a trail camera last year, and it's been so amazing to see some of the nocturnal visitors that we didn't know came around here at night. We've seen possums and bandicoots and even a sugar glider, and all of these are native animals. And we even saw a fox, which is an introduced species, but really quite amazing to see. So choose an animal that you're keen to know more about and see if you can do some research into its story. Before you start, make sure you turn on your curiosity and see what you can find out. Look for information about its habitat and habits, what it eats, how it raises its young, how long it lives, and anything else that captures your interest. Following Lee's lead, it might be fun to investigate your chosen animal's relationship with humans and the story and history of this relationship. Thinking about the fox that I mentioned that visited our place. Foxes aren't found here naturally, so it's been introduced by humans. Why did this happen and when did it happen? Was it for hunting? How are foxes and humans relating to each other these days? We certainly weren't thrilled when the fox took one of our chickens a while back. It makes me wonder where foxes live and sleep in this kind of semi-suburban landscape, and how far towards the city do they go as it gets more and more urbanized? What's the extent of their range here in Brisbane, and how do they survive in these environments? Apart from backyard chickens, what else do they eat? There's so much that we can explore. And once this research fact-finding is done, let's put down our findings in our nature journals, along with a sketch or two. You might like to even look back at last week's episode to the links for Lee Putman's work and have a go at sketching with a fine liner, with Lee's work for inspiration. Or put it down in your nature journal in whatever way feels good to you. Then the third step, I think, is to reflect on your relationship with that animal after you've done this prompt. Do you feel like you know more about the animal now? Do you feel more connected to that species? Do you look at them in a new way? Or maybe you look out for them more when you're out and about? I would love to know how this activity changes and develops your relationship with your chosen species. You can leave a comment below this episode on the Journaling with Nature website. Thank you so much for listening. See you next week.